Hello, my name is Yushima Cherry Burks. I am an author, I am a therapist, and I'm an entrepreneur. Today, I wanted to share the process of how you can get pharmacogenetics testing done. It's very simple. I'm going to walk you through it. And for those of you who don't know what pharmacogenetics testing is, it is simply a test that helps to identify what medications metabolize best according to your DNA. So, for instance, if you've ever been on any medication that's made you feel sick or drowsy, or it just didn't feel right with you, it's because it didn't metabolize properly with your DNA. It wasn't for you. Your sister could have used it, your best friend could have been on this for years, but when it comes to how it does you, it's totally different, right? Well, the pharmacogenetics testing results will help you to identify which medications are more harmful and less harmful, the ones that have more side effects and the ones that has the least amount of side effects. And what I like about this testing, I've had it done on my son because I didn't want him to be a guinea pig. I didn't want him to be on something for 6 months and it's not working, or 6 months and it's, harming him. Because we went through that process. And when I learned about pharmacogenetics testing, as soon as I figured out how to get it done, I got it done that very week. The good thing about the pharmacogenetics testing results is that it shows you which receptor it affects. So for instance, if a medication takes your appetite away, right, it will show you in the results of the test, oh, it affects, the synapses CYP7762, and then you look that up and it'll say appetite, right? Or if it makes you sleepy, or if it makes you gain weight, or if it just makes you feel off or foggy or lightheaded or forgetful, it shows you how the medications affect your receptors in your brain. I absolutely love this. It was a lifesaver for my son. We were able to really pinpoint what medications worked best for him. We had a perfect regimen for him. Unfortunately, where he is now, they refused to abide by it. The doctor wanted to figure it out on his own. So that's unfortunate, but hopefully they'll get back to it. And without further ado, let's go through this. So this is the envelope, the folder that it came in. Of course, it came in an envelope, and I opened it, and this is what was in here. How you get this done, you can ask your doctor, you can ask a psychiatrist to order it for you. My doctor refused to do it. I have a new doctor, and even though I told her the results that I saw personally with my own eyes, she was like, well, it's not enough studies. I just can't stand behind it. But I was like, it's not for you, though. It's not for you. It's for me. So it's not for you to stand behind it. You're not going to be prescribing me anything. I may not even take anything on the list. I just want to get it done for information's sake, right? She refused. So I had to go to a psychiatrist to get this test. And it's okay. So this is what the inside looks like. It opens up in 3 parts, and I'm going to show you what each part has. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's okay, I'll walk you through it. So the first piece of paper I see is the financial information. Of course, they want to know that they have to get paid. This sheet just talks about how they bill your insurance, which insurance covers it. So Medicare, if you have Part B, you have 0 out-of-pocket costs. Medicare Advantage coverage, you may be expected to cover a portion of the cost, typically $330 or less. And Medicaid, typically you have $0 out-of-pocket costs. Commercial other insurance, the plans vary, but you may be expected to cover a portion of the cost, typically $330 or less. So since I have commercial insurance through my employer, this test may cost me $330. And you can learn more about covered tests at genesight.com/cost/insurance. Okay. It also says you can get financial assistance. We offer financial assistance for patients with commercial insurance to help further reduce costs. Find out if you qualify using our financial assistance calculator on our website. And that's at genesight.com/cost. Okay, and their program is based on household income. So it goes into the number of people in a household and how much money that household makes. So my patient cost will be, since I have 4 people in my household, I will have to come out of pocket with a down payment. But it's good for families who may need it, right? So that's pretty cool that they adjust the pricing for that. And it also says ask about our interest-free payment plan. The other side just talks about how billing works. So for more information, genesight.com/cost. Okay, patient consent. This is my patient consent form. They can't do anything with my sample until I sign and give them permission to do the testing for the samples that I'm going to send in. So that's what this is. It's a patient consent form. And this is still out that first part of the envelope, out of the folder. Okay, and then the medical insurance information. So I can fill this out and I think email it to them. Oh, I can fill this out and send it with my sample, or I can go online and just send them a copy of my insurance card, the front and the back of it, send it to them and not have to worry about sending in information. So gather your information. It says read and sign the patient consent form. Place the completed form in the prepaid return envelope. Provide medical insurance information, so either I can email it like I said, or place it in the envelope with my sample. And then it says fill out the DNA sample envelope. It's important to know the date of your DNA samples were collected. Be sure to complete all fields before collecting your DNA samples. Okay, so before you even collect your DNA sample, they want you to fill this envelope out. So this is the envelope that the DNA sample will be collected in. They want to know the date it was collected, patient's first name, last name, date of birth, okay? And it's saying this is how I put my sample in. Very simple process, you guys. This is the swab. It's 2 of them. It's in a package. It's sealed up. Okay, so it's going to tell me what to do with this swab. And in the meantime, in between times, since it said to fill this out first, I'm going to fill this out and I will be right back. All right, so I filled out the envelope with my information that it requested. So now it's telling me how to do it. Let me get some water. Get some water. I have a feeling it's not going to work well with a dry mouth, okay? And this woman in this picture, her lips are super dry. So these are just the illustration of how to do it, okay? She needs some lip gloss. My girl Tina does lip gloss. I may refer her to my girl Tina since she dry about the mouth, and it's okay. We all get dry about the mouth. All right. So the first thing it says is do not touch the cotton swab tip. Hold the swab by its plastic shaft. Remove a swab from the sterile packaging. So let's do that. Open it up, the swab. I'm removing it from the sterile packaging. I already washed my hands. And then it says, carefully insert 1 swab into your mouth. Rub the swab firmly up and down against the inside of your right cheek for 10 strokes. So here we go. All right, so that's done. So I'm going to put it, then it says place the swab, cotton tip first, remember that envelope I filled out, right? Into the DNA sample envelope. I just did that. Then it says repeat steps 1 through 4 with the second swab in the left cheek. So let's go. Removing the swab from the packaging. I'm not touching the tip. Carefully insert the swab into my mouth. Rub the swab firmly up and down for 10 strokes on the left side. Okay, that's done. My son had to spit in a tube and they swabbed his mouth. He had to put a lot of spit in there too, so that was a few years ago. I'm guessing they must have improved the process. This seems much easier. All right, so seal the DNA sample envelope and place it in the return envelope. So let me show you what the return envelope looks like, okay? So the return envelope looks like that. Okay, it's FedEx. Okay, it already has the shipping label and it's telling me what to do. So it says include the following in this envelope: your signed patient consent form, your medical insurance information, unless provided by email, your DNA sample envelope with both cheek swabs sealed inside. Seal the envelope. Ship with FedEx. So I'm going to do just that. I'm going to put this in here, but I also need to put my patient consent form in it. Okay, so I have completed the patient consent form and I filled out my medical information. I put it in an envelope so that it will be with my test, so I don't have to worry about them needing to find the email address, just the whole thing. Okay, I said let's keep everything together. But for those of you who want to stay and listen to the patient consent form to see what I just consented to, go ahead and stay. For those of you who want to see my results should be back in 2 to 3 weeks. It only took my son's results 2 to 3 days to come back, but I guess this is a different company. So for those of you who want to exit now, thank you for watching, and I'll be back in a couple of weeks with my results. Who knows? We'll see what's going on. All right, so let's read this patient consent form. By signing below, you are agreeing to the following. I give consent for gene site testing. I understand that this is a genetic test that will examine my DNA. Specifically, the gene site panels will test for genetic variants related to the metabolism or action of medications classified as psychotropic and for MTHFR. Looks like mother effer. I'm going to have to Google that. I don't know what MTHFR is. Okay. This test is intended to be used for my clinician to assist in medication treatment decision making. By taking this test, I understand that this is not a substitute for the professional decision making of my clinician. Any concerns I have about medication changes as a result of this test should be discussed with my clinician. Once my test results are provided, Myriad Neuroscience removes all personal identifiers on my sample and may use the sample and information derived from the sample for the purposes of test validation, education, and research and development of new products. Samples from New York patients are disposed after 60 days. So New York is not having any parts of this, okay? I understand that I can withdraw my consent at any time and have my sample destroyed by contacting Myriad Neuroscience at 866-757-9204. If I am covered by insurance, I authorize Myriad Neuroscience to give my designated insurance carrier, health plan, or third-party administrator the information necessary or reasonably requested for reimbursement. I understand Myriad Neuroscience can appeal to my health insurance plan if the service is either partially paid or denied, and release all relevant medical records only for the purpose of insurance health plan coverage. I authorize and direct that benefits under this claim be paid directly to Myriad Neuroscience. If I receive payment directly from my health insurance plan, I will contact Myriad Neuroscience and properly send the payment to Myriad Neuroscience. They want to make sure we know the name. I understand that $330 is an estimate of a typical patient financial responsibility for the GeneSight test. I understand that Myriad Neuroscience will contact me prior to processing my test if my total financial responsibility could be more than $330. I authorize Myriad Neuroscience to obtain a consumer credit report on me from a consumer reporting agency selected by Myriad Neuroscience. I understand and agree that Myriad Neuroscience may use my consumer report to confirm whether my income qualifies me for financial assistance. I understand that this inquiry will not affect my credit score. I agree to appoint Myriad Neuroscience to file a complaint or appeal regarding the processing or pricing of my claim to any insurer, including CMS or their agent, any Medicare Part C plan or their agent, any private insurer or regulatory body. By providing my email address and phone number, I consent to receive secure communication from Myriad Neuroscience. I understand Myriad Neuroscience cannot guarantee the security and confidentiality of communication I may send or initiate, and I am aware of the risk of communicating in this fashion. I understand that I may revoke this consent at any time by contacting Myriad Neuroscience at 866-757-9204. I agree that I have read and understand the terms listed above. I understand that Myriad Neuroscience will send me a statement for any balance due after my health insurance plan has processed the claim. I understand and agree that I will pay the full amount of this statement to Myriad Neuroscience within 30 days of receiving the statement. There is a balance due. I understand that Myriad Neuroscience will provide applicable patient financial assistance program information. If I qualify for financial assistance, I agree to provide Myriad Neuroscience with any additional information or documentation that may be needed to confirm my qualification for the financial assistance program. By signing below, I attest that I am the patient or someone who is designated and authorized to sign and provide consent on behalf of the patient for healthcare and financial matters. If the healthcare provider facility allows for a verbal consent for testing, including financial responsibility, please provide in the spaces below the printed name of the authorized person giving consent and the name of the representative verifying consent. Identify each name provided. And then it's a space to appoint a personal representative where if you have one, that's where you will put their name. And then it's for the patient to sign, print, put your email address, the dates, and your cell phone number. So if you made it this far, child, you were really interested in knowing those patient rights and responsibilities, because I was ready to stop reading after 3 seconds. But then they said something about my credit score, credit companies, and I was like, let me keep on. What are they doing with this? But I understand. Okay, you guys, so again, I'm going to mail this out. I'm going to go to FedEx, mail it out, and I guess I'll let you know when I know. When I know, you know. Okay? Until then, I will see you later.